what is that? You know, how that one saying goes, what everybody says, you take one step forward and then you take two steps backwards. That's exactly what I witnessed today watching this Phillies game, second game of this series against the Miami Marlins as they fall by a score of 8-2. Yes, I was not expecting them to score 15 runs again. That was definitely not part of the plan. I was expecting, maybe put some runs on a board off of a tough pitcher who has been nasty this year. They did put runs up on him eventually in that sixth inning, but we'll get to that debacle when we get to it. But then the other thing that really irritates me in this game is Aaron Nola. Because originally, if Aaron Nola gets out of that sixth inning unscathed, I would have said this was probably Aaron Nola's best start so far this year. Because that's where I thought this was going. Because even though his off-speed stuff still doesn't look the way it should be so far to start the season, he was more consistent. He was getting consistent outs. He retired 9 guys in a row at one point. The only mistake he really made up to until that sixth inning was, the hanging curveball that went over the center field wall to the 9-hole hitter out of all people. So that was the only mistake that Nola made the entire game up to that point. But then when you get to that sixth inning, it's when everything breaks loose. You allow guys to get on. You do get screwed over by the umpire, yes, on a final strike for strike 3, which would have been the third out. To get out of that inning, you did get screwed. That is right. That is correct. You see the replay. You see the stat casting that shows the batter's box. It shows the strike zone. You see that pitch. It was in the strike zone. It should have been called strike 3. The inning should have been over. I am not denying that whatsoever. The umpire, that was terrible. He missed that call. And umpires, I have no idea what the issue is. They've been extra bad this year. I don't know the reason why. They've been 20 times as bad. But when the umpire misses that, you got to find a way to bounce back. You can't be allowing an RBI single directly after that. You can't be allowing hits back to back to back after that. Scoring more runs. You can't just blow up like that, Nola. Yes, you got screwed. You should have been out of the inning. Yes, that should have happened. But you gotta throw that in the garbage because umpires are trash and find a way to battle. And you did not. You went from having a good start to a start that leaves a very sour taste in everybody's mouth. And that's what happened today with Aaron Nola. 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a home run allowed on 100 pitches. So far in 3 starts for Aaron Nola, his ERA is up to 7.04. Honestly, I thought this start was going to be his best start, but that 6th inning destroyed that. So far, his best start so far this season was against the Yankees, and even that game was a little shaky. So, Aaron Nola, like I said, I think he's going to be fine the rest of the way, and I do think this is a factor on how they prepared these pitchers. Majority of these guys in spring training, I do think that's a factor into all of this, and it's costing them games early on in the year because these guys clearly do not look ready. The starting staff, that is. The pitch. Your best starter so far has been Matthew Strahm. Has been Matt Strahm. A guy that you signed to be a long reliever out of the bullpen. He was put into the starting rotation because of the Ranger Suarez injury, because of the uncertainties of Andrew Painter. That's the reason why. And he and Bailey Falter have been your best starters. So far, Aaron Nola has had 3 really shaky starts. Zack Wheeler, I thought he was better in the home opener, but so far he hasn't been the Zack Wheeler that we're used to. Taijuan Walker, 2 very shaky starts as well. Bailey Falter, he battled in his first 2 games. The game in Texas, I thought he was really good. Offense just didn't come out for him. In the game against Cincinnati, I thought he was really good after he got hit around a little bit in the early parts of the game. He battled in that game. He really did. And Matt Strahm has been your best pitcher. Right now, that's an issue. For as electric as Matt Strahm has been, that is an issue. Aaron Nola, you cannot blow up in that 6th inning. You just can't. You just can't. Yes, your team did respond in that bottom of the 6th. But then when we get to that bottom of the sixth, Bryson Stott, who has been fantastic to start the year, hit in 11 straight games. 11-game hitting streak to start the year. He gets 2 hits again today, being in the 8-hole. And before we get into that 6th inning, let's go to the lineup first, because after yesterday, okay, you're facing a left-handed hitter. You were probably going to go right-handed heavy. I get that. I do get that. But the principle of things, you're putting Pache back into the lineup after Brandon Marsh yesterday proved that he hit lefties. He hit a double off of a lefty yesterday, and he hit a bomb off of a lefty yesterday. So why not give Brandon Marsh that chance? Okay, Pache's in the lineup. He hit a double in this game, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. Pache wasn't the issue in this game. But still, it's the principle. Why isn't Brandon Marsh getting more chances against left-handed pitchers? Why is that the case? Are you going to use the excuse that it's the ankle and you just wanted to get him off his feet? Or if it's the excuse of, it's a lefty on the mound that's really nasty against left-handed batters? Is that the reason why? Because I have no idea. You put Josh Harrison in the lineup, yeah, he got 2 hits today. So Josh Harrison proved me wrong, even though it is better than Cody Clemens in the lineup. So far in these past 2 games, the question marks that we question, Rob Thompson putting in the lineup so far, like those guys have not been the issue in these past 2 games. Josh Harrison had 2 hits. Pache had a hit. I'm looking at the top of the lineup. Nick Castellanos had a fantastic day. He went 2 for 4. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4. We'll get into his really stupid mistake late in a little bit. Trey Turner. Overall, I think he's had a pretty bad homestand. He has 5 hits in this homestand. Yes, his average is still above 310. He's at 313 right now. He goes 0 for 5 today. He has 5 hits so far in this homestand. 2 of those that come in the home opener, and 3 of those came yesterday. So far in this homestand, there is 3 games that Trey Turner has not had a hit yet. And he has not had a home run. Now, I'm not saying anything here. Don't get me wrong. Do not take this wrong in any way that I'm saying. I'm not saying Trey Turner sucks at all. I'm not going that far. I think Trey Turner is a fantastic player. He's one of the best players in baseball. But man, I want to see a home run, dude. I want to see a barrel. I want to see a hard contact, dude. And yes, he's going to be fine the rest of the way. But so far, when I'm looking at the top of the lineup, this top of the lineup, the 1, 2, 3, have not had a good homestand. We're relying so much on the bottom parts of the lineup, but the bottom parts of the lineup are contributing. Nick Castellanos has had a fantastic homestand. He brought his average back up to 300. Bohm was quiet today. He did get a hit, which was a dribbler, but Bohm's had a fantastic homestand, in my opinion. He has 2 home runs on his homestand. He had 6 RBI yesterday. He isn't the issue so far. Harrison, he was slotted into the lineup. I had issues with that. I still do, but he had 2 hits, so he kind of told me to shut up today. Sosa was quiet today. He's not going to hit in every single game. He did have a couple of chances with runners on, so that's an issue. Stott, he went 2 for 2. Like I said, Pache had a double in this game. And when Brandon Marsh comes into the game, he gets a walk and he gets his hit in the 9th inning. So Marsh continues to hit. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. Schwarber, yes, he had a solo home run in that 6th inning. Good, it started a little bit of a rally there. But overall, and Schwarber did have a few hits yesterday as well. So the back-to-back games for Schwarber, he's been fine. But still, I'm looking more at, the main guy I'm circling right here. Even though he went 1 for 5, it was in garbage time. It was in the bottom of the 9th inning. When you were down 5 runs, I'm looking at JT Realmuto. Ever since the home opener, when he hit that go-ahead 2-run shot, he has been dead quiet. He has not been good in the batter's box. He's always going to be good defensively. There's never going to be, a loss there. But JT, in these, last 5 games, well, he didn't play yesterday, so 4 games for him, he has not been good. Average is now at 222, on base at 243, slugging at 417. He grinded into a double play with runners in scoring position in this game. He had 2 chances with runners on in this game. He went over 2 in that situation. Trey Turner, like I said, he goes 0 for 5. I need way more from Trey Turner, and I know he's going to give me way more. I'm really waiting for that goddamn home run from Trey. And like I said, do not get me wrong at all. Do not mix my words up. I know Trea Turner is a fantastic player. I'm just very irritated that you followed up a 15-run outburst yesterday with this today. And I know it's more of a combination from the pitching than it is from the offense. I didn't expect the offense to go crazy like it did yesterday. And I really needed the pitching to stand out today, especially Aaron Nola. But when your pitching doesn't step up, I need the top guys to do it. And your top guys right now just aren't doing it. It's frustrating. It really, it's like I said, it's one step forward with the game like you had yesterday, and it's two step backwards. It's like the game when you walked off against the Reds on Saturday, one step forward, it was a great win, and then you dropped the goose egg on Sunday, blowing that in the 9th inning. It's basically the same type of scenario right here. You blow them out yesterday, they score a bunch of runs off you today. Your offense was amazing yesterday. Your pitching was fantastic yesterday, besides a little, things there, but got the job done. Strom was great. Going to today, your offense gets shut down besides that 6th inning, and then your pitching sucks. So, what are we just doing? This win one, lose one now until we find a way to get on a streak? It's irritating. It's incredibly frustrating at this point, and it's kind of getting old. And no, this is not me hitting the panic button. This is not me hitting anything. There's a difference between, like I said many recaps ago, there is a difference between hitting the panic button and there is a difference from me just being flat annoyed, flat out frustrated. Because right now, all I've been seeing from this homestand is Nick Castellanos, Alec Bohm, Bryce and Stott, and then basically and Brandon Marsh. Those guys have been unreal so far in this homestand. Trea Turner has shown very minuscule. I know he's had 5 hits, but like I said, 2 of those came in the home opener, and 3 of those came yesterday. That's 3 games for Trea Turner in his homestand where he had 0 hits. He went over 5 today. Schwarber, he's had a nice couple of games here. Home run today, and he had a couple of hits yesterday. JT, garbage time hit. I really don't count that. He has been garbage besides that go-ahead 2-run shot in the home opener. I need way more. And that's where this team put the expectations at going into the year. I expect way more. I do. And like I said, with the way they probably prepared this pitching staff in spring training, it's costing you games. Because it looks like, obviously, they prioritized making sure these guys were healthy, rather than properly making sure these guys were ready to start the season. Because so far, we have not had one single starting pitcher go 6 innings. None. Aaron Nola had a shot today. He blew up with 2 outs in the 6th inning. I had not one single pitcher so far go 6 innings yet. And I know there's good word about Ranger Suarez in his recent, rehab assignment. He looked fantastic in that. So hopefully that's a good sign for when Ranger eventually returns. Because I remember when they said it, maybe they're expecting him back at the end of the month. So he can't get back any sooner. But so far, I need way more from these top guys. And so far, I'm not getting it. I'm getting it from the young guys. I'm getting it from Nick Castellanos. I need way more. I need way more. Man. And then I look at the bullpen. Soto, like I said, he walked the guy, got out of that situation. Brogdon allows the home run to Arias, and Arias hits the cycle today, so that's another guy that kills the Phillies. And I already mentioned Brogdon. This was for Andrew Bellatti's first bad outing. I fully believe Bellotti is going to be fine as the season goes along. Over the sample size of a lot of the usage that he went through over the course of this first, week and a half of the year, he's been really good. This was his first bad start. I was expecting him to have an off day at one point with all the usage that he has been forced to pitch in. And then Craig Kimbrell, surprisingly, had a clean inning out of everyone here. So that was shocking. It's frustrating, man. It is frustrating. So let's get to that 6th inning. I've been avoiding it the entire time. So let's go to that 6th inning because, man, oh man, it's frustrating. Let's start with the Marlins version. So start with 1 out, and then Arias triples with 1 out. Then Soler doubles, scores a run right there, so it becomes 2-0. Then Nola gets the 2nd out of the inning by a strikeout. And then he faces Gurriel. 1 pitch, should have been a strike. He should have got out of the inning. It did not happen. So Gurriel singles, another run scores, becomes 3-0. Then Gene Segura singles, got a guy on first and third, and then Fortes singles to center, another run scores, it becomes 4-0. And then Soto comes in, he walks birdie, gets Chisholm to ground out. And then we go to the bottom of the 6th for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber leads off with a home run, barely grazes the foul pole. Okay, good start to that. JT grounds out. Castellanos gets a single. Bohm gets out. Harrison reaches in on an infield hit because the shortstop bobbled it for the Marlins. Then Sosa gets hit by a pitch, loads the bases up for Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott works a fantastic at bat. 3-2 count. Singles to left field. Scores 2 runs. So it's a 4-3 ball game now. But Bryson Stott, what are you doing? Bryson Stott, what are you doing? Why are you rounding first base? Bryson Stott, what the hell are you doing? He gets thrown out. What are you doing there, Bryson? Bryson, I know you've been amazing. But why, in God's name, are you doing that with 2 outs? And Gene Segura clearly saw that Bryson Stott was overrunning first base. What are you doing in that situation? Think. There was no mistake in the outfield. There was no mistake in the throw back into the infield. Why are you rounding first base that badly? Were you expecting them to throw home? Like, what was that the reason? What are you doing, Bryson? What are you doing in that situation? Yes, you got the hit that scored 2 runs, but you can't do that because it changes the entire complexity of the game. Because it becomes 4-3, then Brockton comes out, he's allowed a home run. Instead of, if you stay on first base, you get first and third. Yes, it's not guaranteed Pache was going to do anything. It was not guaranteed. Maybe Rob Thompson would have pitched hit Brandon Marsh in that situation. You don't know. You don't know because you threw that situation away from yourself. You don't know. You threw it away from yourself. You threw away first and third. And granted, yes, if Pache does come up or if Marsh pinch hits, you don't know what happens in that situation. But it gets you closer and closer. And I understand Trey Turner, and I trashed him in this video. I understand he went 0 for 5 today. But still, I would take Trey Turner in a heartbeat. With bases loaded. In that situation. I don't care if he's struggling right now. I don't care. He is your best player, and I want your best player to have all the opportunities. But like I said, I understand it. It's not guaranteed what Pache would have done something or if Thompson would have pinched hit Marsh in that situation. But you cannot run past first base. It's fundamentals. Kids don't even make those mistakes. Little leaguers don't make those mistakes. And we made those mistakes constantly, and we're constantly stabbing ourselves in the foot. It happened so many times in that series against the Reds. All the base running mistakes in Texas, picked off at first base in New York. All these base running blunders, all of them. That Sunday game against Cincinnati. You were still winning that game with all the base running mistakes that you made. It's got to stop. It's getting old. Bryce Harper can get away with that stuff. None of y'all are Bryce Harper. I understand the energy that Bryce brings when he tries to stretch that single into a double, but Bryce is the only guy that can get away with that. None of y'all can. Not you, Schwarber. Not you, JT. Not you, Castellanos. Not you, Bohm. Not Stott. I understand you've been amazing. It's just stupidity. It's stupidity on the base paths. These guys are not thinking. They're not thinking. Think the game better. It's just basic fundamentals that these guys are just being completely stupid on and completely just ignoring. And you once again stabbed yourself in the foot when you could have had a first and third situation with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, down 4-3 with a possible chance to tie it. And if you stay in that situation, if you tie it, it possibly changes the entire dynamic of the game. But instead, you were just stupid. And that was it. It changes the entire dynamic of the game. And also, runners went scoring position. That's still an issue. Yes, you went crazy yesterday. I wasn't expecting a blowout today in runs by this team. But 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Sosa 0 for 2. Turner 0 for 1. Schwarber 0 for 1. JT 0 for 2. Stott 1 for 3. Castellanos 0 for 1. It's just basic fundamentals that you're just constantly screwing up on. And now you go away from, possibly sweeping the series again, which I wanted you to try to sweep this series because it would have made your record look a lot better. And now you have to try to salvage it tomorrow. Zack Wheeler is on the mound now. And like I said, I know I've trashed the starting pitchers so far. Will Zack Wheeler provide a 6th inning outing? With the way everything's gone, it's not guaranteed. Even though so far I'd still trust Zack Wheeler as the other guy in the rotation right now, besides Bailey Falter and Matt Strom. Can't believe I've even said that. Well, Julian, tomorrow's not a day game. It's a late afternoon game, so it's 4 o'clock, then you get into the evening and all that stuff. So do we even count that as a day game? All that stuff. And I'm going to tomorrow. So they better win. I'm 1-0 this year in games that I attend, so they better win. I almost went to this game, but other family took the tickets. Ugh. So goddamn frustrating. And going to the Marlins lineup. Rhys. Just don't pitch to the guy. Just don't pitch to the guy. Because this guy is on an absolute tear to start the year. On an absolute tear. He gets the cycle today. It's the first cycle in Marlins history. He went 4 for 5 in this game. He's the new Philly killer for the Miami Marlins. Dude is batting .537. .537. Just don't pitch to him. Walk him every at bat. Walk him every at bat and let someone else try to hurt you. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Walk him every at bat. Just let him get on base. I understand he was the AL batting champion last year. And the dude has had pretty good stats in his entire career. He's played, so far, this is his 5th season. 2019 was his rookie year. He batted .334 in 92 games. In the COVID-shortened year, he played in 32 games, batted .321. In 2021, he played in 121 games, so that was his first basically full season. He batted .294 for the Twins. And last year, when he won the batting champion for the American League, he batted .316. So far, he is batting .537 with a .596 on base percentage and a slugging percentage of .732. Brandon Marsh makes that look like scrap, though, with that slugging percentage. .926 casual slugging percentage there. But still, don't even pitch to this kid. Don't even pitch to this guy. Just walk him and let someone else do damage. Because I'm already annoyed. Because this guy just doesn't stop hitting. This guy just makes contact. He just makes contact. It's ridiculous. It's unreal, the amount of contact this guy makes. Ay, ay, ay. My God. So frustrating, man. So frustrating. Yeah, it's nice. It's great to see what Bryce and Stott's been doing in these first 11 games. 11 games straight so far with a hit. Batting .422, on base of .435, slug of .489. So far, it's been the young guys carrying the load, and Nick Castellanos. It's been Bohm, it's been Stott, it's been Marsh, it's been Castellanos. So far. Turner's had his share in the first few series, but this homestand, he's been very quiet besides, from a few games. Schwarber, these past 2 games, he's been better, but overall, slow starts for Kyle Schwarber. And then JT has just been abysmal. Sosa's had his moments. But really, like I said, it's been Bohm, Castellanos, Stott, and Marsh. And I love seeing those guys do damage. I do. But I need my top guys. I need my top guns. I need Turner more. I need Schwarber more. I need JT more. Especially Turner and JT. I would love to see a home run from Turner. It's overdue at this point. Did he waste all of his goddamn magic at the World Baseball Classic? Like, dude, I was spoiled. We were spoiled from that performance on Team USA. Saved a little bit for the Phillies, my guy. That's all I'm saying. It's one reason for Phillies fans to hate the World Baseball Classic. Zapped all their magic. What else? What else? I don't think. It was Dollar Dog Night, and there were fans throwing hot dogs at people. So that's one thing. What else? Here we go. This is from Corey Seidman. This is Bryce and Stott post-game on the mistake that he made. Just not a very good play by myself. I think we all had the momentum there. And when I got picked, who knows what would have happened after that. If they would have scored 4 more runs or not, just kind of give ourselves a chance in that spot would have been nice. Yeah. If you don't, get thrown out there, it could probably change the entire complexity of the game. It could. Aaron Nola not blowing up could have changed the entire complexity of the game. He doesn't blow up in that 6th inning. It's still 1-0 after 6. You score those 3 runs. The 3-1 ball game in the top of the 7th. Whole game is different. So it goes to stupid mistakes, timely hitting, and also your goddamn pitching. Specifically your starters. Specifically Aaron Nola. Crazy. But it's also weird because I'm looking around the league right now. I'm currently looking around the league. Let's just look at the National League at some of these teams. The Mets right now are 6-6. The Pirates, out of all teams, are 7-4. The Cardinals are 3-7. And the Cardinals were expected to win the division. The Arizona Diamondbacks are 7-4. The Dodgers are 6-5. They're barely above 500. Who else in the American League? Let's look. Yeah, the Rays, they're 11-0. They're just playing unreal right now. They're finally healthy. Let's see, who else? The White Sox, they were expected to be better. They're 5-7. The Texas Rangers, they're leading the West. The Houston Astros have not gotten off to a good start this year. The Mariners have not gotten off to a good start this year. And the Angels are 500. So there's a lot of weird crap going around baseball. So far, it looks like the most consistent team besides the Tampa Bay Rays are the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves, they dropped a 4-game series to the Padres. So should that be a complication of everything should be fine down the road when it does get better? Possibly, yeah. It definitely does, in my opinion. We all know the St. Louis Cardinals, they pull black magic out of their asses in the second half of the year to win the division. That's what they do every single year. The Pirates, they're going to even out. They're not as good as they're playing right now. Who else? I do believe the Phillies will get better as the year goes along. The Padres, the Diamondbacks, I feel like, even though they're a very young team, I do feel like at the end of the day, things will even out and the Padres and the Dodgers will go run away with that division. Tampa Bay's eventually going to lose a game. But now that they're finally healthy, they got a lot of good players, and they got a lot of good pitching as well. They just find ways to make pitchers good there. Maybe they run away with the AL East. The AL Central is always a coin flip. The AL West, I do believe the Astros will eventually get things going. They just lost in walk-off fashion to the Pirates today. So, I know I'm trying to throw positivity into this entire thing with just how crazy baseball has been to start the year, with a lot of the teams that were expected to be good having slow starts. So, by that logic, should we just not be worried about this team? No. Well, yes and no, I guess. Like I said, I'm not hitting the panic button. I'm just very annoyed. That's it. Rays are 11-0. Wish we had that record. Well, the Rays are healthy. We are not. I'm not using injuries as an excuse, but, if the Phillies were more healthy to start the year, I don't think they would have the record that they have right now. I think they would have been a lot better. But granted, that's still on the case scenario that the pitching is still the same way that it is right now, so you never know. But if you had Rhys Hoskins, you probably would have at least have maybe 1 or 2 more wins with his run production. Possibly, in my honest opinion. If you had Ranger Suarez, that's an extra good arm in your rotation. So, yeah. So let's look at the rest. The last game of this series. Tomorrow. 4 o'clock. Marlins. Zack Wheeler on the mound. Like I said, he did have a better start on the home opener against the Reds. Still only went 5 1/3 innings there. 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I think he's due for a breakout. And even though I said this about Aaron Nola, I do believe Zack Wheeler will pitch good tomorrow. Don't blame me. I'm knocking on wood right now if that is not the case. Then you get Edward Cabrera. 0-1, 5.40 ERA. He's got a lot of nasty pitches, but he does tend to blow up and lose location. He had 7. Walking people, apparently his biggest issue so far to start the year. He walked 6 people in the first game against the Mets, and in his second game against the Mets, he walked 7. So far with him, location and command are probably an issue. So take advantage of that. And after this game against the Marlins, you have a 4-game series against the Reds in Cincinnati, and then you go to Chicago against the White Sox. So Wheeler today, tomorrow Bailey Falter, Friday Taijuan Walker, Saturday Strom, Sunday Nola, and then in Chicago, Wheeler, Falter, Walker. Then you're back home for a 4-game set against Colorado, 3 games against Seattle. Then you're back on the road again, and then, i.e., the rest of the schedule. Very frustrating, though. That's the only thing I have here. It's just very frustrating. It is. It really is. But I think now we will start the close shop here on the stream. So let me go through this comment section, live feed, see what you guys have to say here. Really frustrated with this team. They really shouldn't be this bad. The homestand should have been 5-1. Now another day game with this team stinks in day games, and Nola have had enough. So are you giving up on the season already, Julian, or are you just frustrated? It's one thing to panic, and like I said, there's one thing to panic and there's one thing to just be frustrated. I don't think you should be giving up on the year, but I understand your frustration. Trying to figure out 11 hits, 4 walks, and you lose. I guess one of those 10 hits with runners in scoring position would do it. Yes, it does. I'm watching the post-game interviews, and Nola's face looks like as if it was the end of the season. That's how horrible things are going so far. I want to see Painter already. Well, you won't see Painter for a little bit, sadly, Jose. Thompson, bullpen moves are still bad. Turner, JT, and Castellanos have freaking one. Well, here's the thing, Julian. Castellanos, I feel like, has been the least of the issues. Yes, I would love a home run. I would love a home run from Castellanos. But the dude is a doubled machine right now. And he's getting hits. He's getting on base. Yes, I would love him to hit home runs. He's throw away the year that he had in Cincinnati for his contract year. Throw that away. He's not going to be a 30 home run hitter. That's just not who he is. Over his large sample size, he could be a 20-25 home run hitter. That could still be in the mix. Because I do believe with the way that he's hitting right now, he looks a lot more confident at the plate. He has a lot more of a better attitude. And it looks like he's bringing that emotion into the games. I do think with the way that he is hitting, the home runs will come. I think the baseball gods will reward him. I do think it's going to happen eventually for him. So Castellanos, it's okay to enjoy what he's doing right now with the way that he's hitting, But it's also okay to demand more. That's very understandable. That's the same way I'm right now with Trey Turner. I love Trey Turner. He still has an average over 300. So it proves that he is hitting. I just want to see a little bit more, though. I got really spoiled with the World Baseball Classic, and I want to see that Trey Turner. And I do think we'll eventually see that. Like we'll see with Kyle Schwarber in June and all that stuff. Bryce Harper is going to be here eventually, very sooner rather than later. Rob Thompson says he can face live pitching. It's really just a matter of him getting clear of the slide. So, take a deep breath. But yes, this is frustrating. I am frustrated along with you guys. Why does Soto pitch half an inning? Soto is not our best reliever, man. Soto can be a good guy in our bullpen. Right now, Jose Alvarado is our best reliever. Bryson Stott has been hot. Yes, he has, but he did make that stupid mistake. Schedule in September is brutal, cannot continue. I don't think it's going to. But like I said, with the way they prep these pitchers in spring training, you're going to cost you a little bit more games in April and May that you may like. So, there we are. That's where we stand here. So, like I said, that's where we're going to end it here today, everybody. I appreciate everyone here joining the stream, as always. Yes, I understand, Julian, you are frustrated. I am frustrated along with you. I do think it's going to be better. This team has way too much talent to be, this abysmal for a long stretch of the year. I do think it's going to get better. But yes, right now, this is very frustrating. So, thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let's do this as always. Definitely. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Please hit that subscribe button. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Use it for any upcoming Phillies home game, road trip. Sixers start the playoffs this Saturday, home against the Brooklyn Nets. If you can get a ticket to there, use that $20 off code to basically avoid the fees. So, great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you, everyone, for joining.